Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about two issues that weren't discussed today, but they're Senate bills that are up for discussion and have not, as of yet, been slated for a hearing yet. It's SB 1182 and SB 1254. Basically, this is about bonds and overrides. So, SB 1182 basically says that once a school district goes out for an override, that they can't go out for it again, and they're not allowed to use monies to produce factual information brochures educating the public about that bond override. And then 1254, sponsored by Senator Crandall, says that bond overrides have to occur every even numbered year. So here's a couple issues. Let's go back with SB 1254, every even number year. If you know anything about election cycles and bonds, that typically voters in even years, those are the big election cycles, president and gubernatorial. They typically have lots of things on the ballot and lots of different issues that cost money. Voters almost always vote no on those years because of voter fatigue. An example, the last one where the president of the United States was elected, Barack Obama, 6 questions went down that were bond and overrides for the city of Scottsdale. 3 override and bonds went down in the in the schools of Scottsdale. In the city of Scottsdale, 9 issues went down due to what I call voter fatigue, tax fatigue. You know, they see 50 different things for roads and bridges and schools and cities and firemen, and they just vote no. They're just tired. They're fed up. When those organizations go back around in an odd number year, they typically have a higher success chance of passing. And frankly, when schools come around, they almost always pass. Chandler in 2012, my district, failed their bond and override. First time in the 80-year history of the district. They went back out in 2013 and it passed. Because typically it's a much smaller voting pool because it's not a national election, and only the people who truly understand and truly are educated on that issue vote. They call it, the smaller the vote, the more educated the voter, because they cared enough to go there and vote. By putting this on even number of years, by legislating when the election happens, you're legislating the outcome. You're legislating the fact that it's probably not going to pass. And then the add-on bill, SB 1182, which says you can't go back out again, means I'm going to legislate by putting it on a big year that's not going to pass, and then I'm going to throw another bill out that says, and you can't go back out the next year or ever again. I can't think of a more overt way to try and defund schools than these 2 bills. I don't think it should be up to Senator Crandall as to what year I go out. It should be up to the school business officer, the governing board, and the citizens of that community who signed that petition to bring it to the vote. I don't think it should be up to Senator Crandall. And I don't think you should get to come back and tell me I can't go back again, because in an interesting, this bill was actually up before, and it failed. So we reworded it and brought it back again. Isn't that ironic? Am I the only one who sees that? That if he just lived by his own laws and bills, that this bill wouldn't exist. I am strongly against these 2 bills because I believe it limits the right for the local districts to fund themselves, to fix their buildings, to buy their computers, and to operate their buses. And that's what M&O and Capital does. It fixes buildings, it buys technology, and it runs M&O operations, buses, gas, fuels, fleets, those types of things. And if the state won't pay for it, who are they to tell us that we can't pay for it ourselves? Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm against SB 1182 and SB 1254. Again, they have not been heard by committee yet, so we don't know their fate.